Uh-oh.
Oh, it just
Technical difficulties at the start.
the second I tried to yeah, and you're gonna see now how long it takes this thing to boot up. Remember the good
Okay.
days?
I love it, Jake. I really do. I love it. I love the fact we're still, it's, once again, time capsule. Turbo Pit Fighter was conceived like in 1999, 2001 ish. Jake and I part ways. Nothing personal, it was all or professional. It was just life taking us in different directions. And here we get back, and we're using the same materials and computers.
Right. Well, for the lettering, it's
25 years ago.
there's just no better tools. I don't have InDesign, and the fonts, the fonts have gotten weird. Talk about like precision control. There's nothing like Quark Express in the whole wild world. I also want to show here if you want to peel back the curtain, look at this. You know how like they talk about the paper blob? So I have this here. These are the turbo pages, and these are all the sketches and notes and
Wow.
and look at all this. It's getting to be like 4 inches
Awesome.
of that. And then here is the marker blob that's starting to grow. And I need to get so I have like a big fishing tackle box that I'm gonna like put the thing because every once in a while you need to
self-organized.
Reorganize. Right. That's just a PSA there, folks. Don't let the blob take over. So the folks who saw our last episode might remember we were right in the middle of lettering and the turbo pages. We are going to be digging through some of these old notes and printouts because we're trying to get the dialogue back where it was. And right. And, there's a couple of places where we just left a word balloon empty. And that means we're going to have to talk about it. And so that's what the intention is today. On Kurt's side, we got some Ken Landgraf art right there, right?
These are the 6-pager that you have actually gone forward and commissioned Mr. Landgraf. And these showed up this past week, so I figured I'd print them out just to tease the heck. This is actually our card, our title card for YouTube. So I love it's just great. It's just great.
Yeah, so he's definitely got a vision for these action shots, and I can't wait to see them when they're all done. Look at that. This are just real classic poses there.
Come on. Oh man.
Yeah, and this is going to be, for folks, this is going to be the first sequential pages of Esoterra Hellclaw. Although not Chromita, there's 2 pages preceding this of Chromita. So this is a big deal for me because these are kind of like important characters for me. I've always wanted to do kind of like a Defenders super team, and we're getting that off the ground finally with Esoterra and Hellclaw. Although it's not just like straight superheroes, it's more sci-fi-ish, and there's a lot of science involved when you're going to read all the dialogue. And that reminds me of some interesting movies that I saw and some interesting science that I learned about. But why don't you take us through all those pages first?
Well, I'm hoping these are in order because I just printed them out as they were sent to me and scanned.
I couldn't. That's page 1 right there.
Okay, good. So and you know what? It all flowed. I did reference back to the script.
Yeah. So I love how there's plenty of room for the word balloons. That's great.
Ken's very professional.
Ken's definitely a pro. One thing that I think he, I don't know if I described it well enough in the script, but if you go back to page 1,
Mm.
Um, so that character right there, that's supposed to be like a teenage girl who's like
Oh yeah, well,
18 or 19, and man, did he put some bazookas on her. So
signature.
right. So
Signature.
it's not a bad thing. The I sent you a little update of that
Yes.
NSFW article.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
I did. Thank you. Read it. Really would. It's
Right.
got me now. It's got me even thinking.
Right. Well, I mean, we're not making an NSFW
Oh, come
comic,
on.
but there are elements, shall we say, of NSFW stuff that that sell really well. I mean, nobody's saying like we don't want to sell a lot, but um,
I still think the definition of NSW is bare boobs. That's all it is. I think it's like it's something out there in the water that people would love to see a version where there's no top on this
right.
this poor gal. But there's still a version that is fully clothed, but the way you get that little signature on your or insignia on your comic when you do the Kickstarter and you're calling it NSW, it just seems to be that. There's no
Yeah, this is not
gratuitous anything else.
right. We don't have bare chest here in this 6 page or anything like that. But and that's dicey because when you have characters that are like teenagers, you want to.
Yeah, I'm just totally being a funny guy at this point. But it's just I guess the immaturity for wanting to see that stuff
Right.
is the most popular and by far money generating aspect to indie comics, because the big guys aren't doing this on Kickstarter. So it's just interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So the article I sent Kurt a link to, it's just an update of a previous article where they said NSFW is the most high selling category of comics on Kickstarter, and the guy's been tracking this now, and so he was just updating last month's offerings on Kickstarter. However many comics there were, 40% of them were NSFW, and he's just tracking how much support they're getting from the patrons, and it's just like through the roof. So the guy's got a great point, and it's good to know for people who are figuring out their marketing and everything. But there's just some folks that don't, they have a certain audience in mind, and you want to sell to like families at a table at a con. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. You got to keep it below the table with the cherry pop tarts and the
It's like Bud Root's Cave Woman. I saw him back in 2000. I think it was 16 in Baltimore Comic Con. And every time he was just up and around the corner from my table. And every time I looked up and out and around, and then I saw his table, he was literally doing this to the kids. I
right.
could just see it. He was like, just not for you. Just not for you. They're like talking and everything because
take off that trick.
That cave woman was still hot. Cave woman is very hot.
Right. Yeah, Cable. Yeah, I know that guy. He's got a style that reminds me of Mobius a little. So that also brings up Crumb, because Crumb is is kind of like an adult cartoonist a lot of the time, and so we are going to talk about Crumb a bit today, right, Kurt?
Oh yes, you got to share, because I just watched the video of the hour-long talk at the 92nd Street Y that you attended. So very much wanting to hear your version of it. So
one thing for folks that are looking at these Ken Landgraf pages is that Kurt and I actually went over the thumbnails of this script in its entirety. I think just about 3 weeks or a month ago.
Last week.
So that's available in our archives. I don't know if Kurt knows the exact episode number, but
not off the top of my head.
No, but that was this is the casualties, so it might be in the title, and it's great to see his interpretation of the script, and it's great to see his initial layouts. And it's amazing that he sends you this stuff in between, I guess, for like approval, and it's like, no, everything's fine. But then then he finishes up, so you get a whole different thing at the end, and then he also does these videos, right?
Yeah. So there's one up on his channel, and I've tagged his channel on YouTube, so you can check that out, because he's done also a pinup that'll be used in our Turbo Teaser number 3 anthology. And so there's 2 videos about 15 minutes long. And I just love his channel. I look forward to every time he posts. It's like a meditation in making a comic, inking, definitely, because that's my shtick here.
Right. One thing is, like, when he's doing it, he's explaining his process. It's really good if you're an inker and you want to, like, see how what the thought process of a great pro inker when he's in the middle of stuff. And then, like, and then sometimes he's just like quiet, and that's interesting too, because when we're drawing on air, we always like fill up every moment with talking, like, and I never really considered it. You could have a YouTube video where you're just drawing and you're pausing and quiet. That's nice.
I think it's. I wonder also what the interaction would cause for people, especially if we're on live, where you pop on and then all of a sudden, wow, there's two guys and they're making a comic. Oh, it's the same. You know what I mean? Let people do a little work on their own brains. And try to figure things out, and then go from there. As I've stated, because I just edited, and I'll be posting tomorrow, the Rick Lopez Indie Creator Exchange video interview, and I said it. We're not trying to make a podcast. We're trying to make a comic book.
Right.
We're just using this platform to keep us on track, as well as, hey, we're making a comic book, because Rick said, which was no surprise, and there's just so much content out there, but he says at the end, he's like, when he was reviewing the Turbo Teaser, he's like, yeah, and I didn't even know you guys are doing this, online. And it's like, well, no, unless I told you, or, you saw something posted somewhere, you came across it that way, that's just how life is and everything. So,
Yep,
it's way more important to me that you and I get together and hang out and make comics than it is to try to strategize and grow a podcast, which, by the way, we're doing very well. We're almost at the 1,500 mark. So for subscribers on our YouTube channel. So once again, thank you very much for all those who are on our YouTube platform supporting. So.
Yes, thank you if you've made it this far. Just to finish up on Ken's video. So I'm not, I think he lives in Queens. He's got the greatest background soundtrack. When you hear him inking, and then there's like these lulls of silence where he's just doing his work.
Yeah.
You hear birds. You hear like he's got to have some kind of and I hear them with you right now too, right? You got your window open or something?
Heck yeah, man! This time of the year,
that's
it's the rain and everything. I love it. This is my favorite time of the year.
That's great. I mean, I wish I had that. I have a parking lot in front of my door here, my window here.
People yelling at each other.
Right, not as good, but yeah. So we're gonna keep people updated. So this is not just the process of making Turbo Pit Fighter sci-fi comic. It's also the process of making the other prequel stories, such as The Casualties, featuring Esoterra, Hellclaw, and Cremita, and that's underway. We will update you the next time we get some updates, and then at some point we'll have to be doing the lettering on air for that too, just as I'm struggling to do the lettering here today. And Kurt, I'm having a tough time trying to put these word balloons in the right place.
What page you? Oh, you're still. Where you are? It looks like you're on page 4. Or, excuse
Yeah,
me.
I
Because you're
had a
going to
lot
have to
more.
get through. Oh, no, you're on 15. You're on page 15.
So I had a lot more curses than I remember nowadays. I guess maybe I've softened in my old age, but I had a real potty mouth turbo, um, and I'm just not sure where it all goes. Um, so if you look here, we figured this out okay. Um, Turbo comes outside when the guys are trying to kidnap the trophy girl. Who the f is she? Um, and then she goes, an Elash, huh? Not enough rifles to go around in this operation. I called this originally a T-lash, for short for taser lash. I don't know if I should make that an E-lash or a T-lash. Um, I don't know, Charlie. Just kill her. Hold still, bitch. Shite, that thing is hot. And then here's a word balloon off screen, and I think this is the trophy girl. And I don't know what it says. I don't see any box here for it.
Oh,
So that we might have to fill that in. Then she says,
why do you think it's Trophy Girl?
"Oh no, it's pointing at the guy." Yeah, good point. Oh, good point.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. You don't do that unless I'm like you have an interaction between characters that we're watching, and there's obviously those. These are all she's being assaulted. That would be that. I don't know. I've not ever seen you have a third character make some kind of explanation. So that would
I
just
do.
be
Yeah, I do sometimes have off camera like but it'll
But
say
it's not
that.
like, but it's not any like we see Trophy Girl on 13 at that end of the page, but you don't see her until she's going into the tunnel here, the sewer grate. So I would not understand why you would just
Well,
all of a sudden have her say something because she's
right.
trying to escape.
No, it's
She ain't trying to have a conversation with Turbo. And she also too, by the way, is trying to get away from Turbo. She don't
right.
like no Turbo. She don't know.
Right. She's trying to get away from everything. Um,
Yep.
so I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to turn to my printed dialogue here to try to see if there's any other information about what who's saying what, because in the Quark file, there's some changes that aren't on the printouts, and on the printouts there's some changes that aren't on the Quark file. So there have been some things here that get us unstuck, and so well, let's go back to that. Now you wanted to talk about your gray levels, right?
Well, I'm going to just go ahead and kind of work at them. I'm just going to be noodling. What I did is, as everybody can see here, I just, I have the second turbo teaser. I went ahead and scanned the next 6 pages at where they're at, which is about over 90% complete. We have received some, feedback in that, as I'm laying in all of these materials to create values, between light to dark objects and then the actual color of objects, there can be some blurry elements. So it's my responsibility at this point, before we sit down and actually do some official, because I'd like to get these pages in your hands when I feel like I've taken as far as I can, to basically say, today I'm going to be like, okay, got to find a bit of white here, get a little bit dark here, just start making some real push and pull decisions and stuff. So I just literally printed it out on the cream paper, and you can see how it slots in from page 12 of the teaser 2 right into the next 13, page 13, 14. So
Right.
I'll be doing that. And, I say this very, very often. The printed work is the artwork. This is the means to get to this. This is what I obsess over, is the reduction, the tightening, and then the effect that happens in printing. And then this is my printer, so it's a bit crappy. So it really does help me, because this is a printed from Kinko's, and you can see how really nice and clear and sweet. That all comes along, which we'll get when we have the third teaser anthology printed. But I could just see. I mean, like here it's just I got to do something which I'd probably cause some more dark in the bottom of Maluch, to be able to kind of work against. One thing I am struggling against is there's this decision I made in having these baddies suits be gray, which I threw a gray gouache wash over the top of, which did fantastic. But then it really anchors this heavier gray into each of the panels and then over the page. So
Yeah,
I got to make some little bit of different decisions in what I'm going to treat as lighter or darker. So it's all good. It's a positive challenge.
right. I mean, I said my piece. I thought that there should be balance, which means like the white, the gray, and the black should have like the rule of thirds or whatever. But then once you use that as a rule of thumb, you want to also have a main focus on a page, and then so you might want to divert from the rule, and have like an area of main focus. I mean, it's really good to squint, I think, at these pages too. Um, like the one you have on the left, you seem like you have a very good balance of white, gray, and black. The one on the right seems a lot more gray, middle-ish.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
So,
agree. And I think a lot I'm going to have to be working back into the ground and bringing that back into light. So that'll be because like the move I make, you can see right here. The move I make is obviously I wanted the darkness of the room and then her emerging out. That white light is more dominant, than the foreground being darker. So that's all pretty much white. But then I did start throwing some shadows, in here. But then I might just start bringing these back into, white. Definitely these two. I'll figure it out. This is actually something I enjoy. This is the process I've been working up to, is to be able to challenge my skills at this point and make some decisions, and hopefully they end up being cool decisions. Things that make people go, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool." So
yeah, and that for folks that are used to color comics, this is actually just thinking about value instead. Black and white. You're dealing with 0 to 100. On the black plate. Basically.
yep.
Um, uh, on that sound effect, upper right corner, you got the T lash, and then you got the zzz, right? Can you bring that up to the camera? Yeah, can you bring that up to the camera? Right. That's cool because it kind of the lightning behind it really makes it look like it's maybe part of the lettering. It's a cool effect.
Cool.
Yeah. So over here on my side, I got an issue. I just found here on this printout, it says they call it the yeah. So I might be wrong about this high Heine thing. And see here, it says shit they grappled the fluff. I think that's what belongs here instead of hang on Miss High Heine. Here I go again. Shit, they grappled they grabbed the flush. I'll. The reason I said grappled is because when I was in my drinking days, in my 20s, I had this friend of mine. His name was Larry, but we called him Lard, and he would every word out of his mouth would have to be like Lard language, like Lard speak, and he would say, like, you can't just say grabbed or I got something, I grappled it. Like he would say, dude, let's grapple some QTs, that translated like, okay, let's go get some, beers, some quarts of beer. And I think that was definitely an influence. He was the Hungarian, him and his brother were the Hungarian influence on me. So we're gonna have to decide about that. And I'm leaning towards they grab the fluff, or they yeah. Um, then Karcher, and I'm falling. So these are all accounted for. Get to this page. This all makes sense. This we still don't know what is in here. And then here, I'm just laying these in. Cripes, that prick almost got a bead on me. Talking about the lash, maybe he just missed. Shice, that thing is hot. She can feel the glow. That prick almost got a bead on me. And then she kicks him in the face. Now she says, "All right, you cruddy tweaker bastards. All right, you cruddy tweaker bastard." Then she'll say, "What?" Um, Here, look. Oh. I think I have some helpful notes. Oh wow. So what page am I working on here with the T lash? This is page
That's 13, 14, I think 15.
13. So this
No,
says
15. No, you're on 15.
all right because
Oh
and
no,
they're
no, you're sorry. 14, 14.
and they're taking the fluff too. So this would have been before. So I don't know why I labeled it 12. Do we have it? Do they grab Trophy Girl on the previous teaser?
Yeah. Let me just double check here. Yeah, they've got her. They've got her down
Oh,
here.
so we used that already. Oh, and they're taking the fluff too. We already did
On
that.
handmade. Let me done
Okay.
it once.
All right, we said that.
Yeah.
So this is Miss High Heine. It is saying hang on, Miss High Heine. We said this right. All right, so at least I know where I am because this page has little notes on it, and I think I made these recently when we were doing this. So that means all these. So cripes, this prick almost got a beat on me. I'm like crossing things out. And here we wrote in, oh balls, there goes the purse money. That we already put in. Whoa, that thing is sizzling. Oh, okay, that's good. So 14. Goddamn lucky for me. Goddamn lucky for me that cheap bootleg ammo don't fly too straight. The bootleg ammo doesn't fly too straight. So I'm struggling right here. What this is supposed to say? This is a source of information, and these word balloons here, which I'm taking. Goddamn lucky for me that bootleg ammo don't fly too straight. That belongs here, I guess. But that looks like a squeeze for that little box. Or maybe this is up here. This is a bigger box up here, and this goes down here. All right, you cruddy tweaker bastard. I'm just going by the volume here. This looks like it could squeeze down. And then she's mashing his head in. So, but since you tried to put all kinds of bullet holes in me, I figure I'll stomp your motherfucking lengths out. So this goes here. And what does she say? We didn't have to fight in the first place. And I want my 50 creds. This could be here. And I'm just cursing myself that I didn't label these back in the day. Oh my God. It would have been so helpful if I would
Yeah,
just
but
want
I said it last episode is like, you just literally just stop midstream. So it's not there was no indication that this wasn't going to continue back then. So
right.
don't beat
All right.
yourself up.
So I think I'm piecing this together. And of course, we can make any changes we need to here in real time. But I think I'm piecing together the 20-year-old mystery of what goes where. Cripes, that prick almost got a beat on me. So she could be talking about the lash. And so I could say, it sounds like she was shooting at him. And then she says, goddamn lucky for me that bootleg ammo don't fly straight. I'm taking out cheap. But when was she shot at? Look, he's pulling out his gun right here, and he's got his gun right here. But then, is there any shooting involved?
No, that gun does not discharge because
So
that's him getting it. That's
well,
him getting it.
almost got a beat on me means he almost got me in his sights, and then she's
I
kicking him
agree.
first. So then this comment about the ammo not flying straight doesn't make sense.
So she goes after that guy in this panel, and then this panel she takes. No, because you have.
She's kicking the guy with the lash first, right?
Yeah. Well, you don't see the lash in the hand of the. Yeah, because
No,
then
no,
you
no,
got
no,
the gun.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. Look in the bottom right panel. He's the guy.
He gets back up. He's getting back up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he gets whacked. He gets wolched. Then she goes after the guy with the gun because the gun's right here. Then we see her. We see teaser going. Trophy girl taking off, and then she's pommeling the guy with the gun, squashes his head, and then in the background is the whippy guy, and then you get that slash, that sklish.
Right. So the guy
that sends her, into flashback mode.
Right. So the guy with the lash, his helmet is all like smashed up, right? I can't see from the preview. He should have like cracks in his helmet and everything because she not only kicked him, she punched him. Oh no! Look, she's punching the guy with the gun.
In the fourth panel.
So the guy with the lash, did he get punched yet?
I think she just whomps him. She wolches him. She just boom. I mean, there is cracks on the helmet, and I am seeing that. And then,
but that's the gun guy.
Distant. This guy here.
It looks like she goes for the gun guy first, who's to her left, because he doesn't have well, we don't see his hands, but in the second panel we do. He's got the gun. So if she's hitting him twice,
I see. I got you. Okay. Well, why is he getting up?
Is he getting up, or is he crouching?
Or is that crouching?
He looks like he's in that crouch. He was already crouched.
I mean, if he's that close, I would assume he's taking something on the chin. Then she's going for the next guy because that's how you fight. You can't you're getting attacked by multiple attackers. You can't spend too much time on one attacker, or you get attacked.
Right. So the lash guy gets one shot, and then the gun guy gets a shot. Then she's mashing the gun guy, and then the lash guy is coming back at her. All right. So the comment, goddamn lucky that bootleg. See, I don't need for me. Goddamn lucky, or that bootleg ammo don't fly too straight. He didn't get a shot off, so maybe we should change this to can't let this guy get a shot off. Something like that, right? And then, all right, you cruddy tweaker bastard, this doesn't seem like it flows. I don't know if this was supposed to be there. And then she says, we didn't have to fight in the first place. I just want my 50 creds. Since you tried to put bullet holes in me, all kinds of bullet holes in me, I figure I'll stomp your motherfucking lights out. Clutch. I'm going to jump ahead to the next page. So it says,
yeah, see what's going on.
All right, I knew I had my back turned too long. The other twacker got me square with the taser lash. So he's saying something, but I don't know what. And I don't see any dialogue. Quick pain across my back. All right, so paint across my back goes here. I'm just putting in the obvious stuff. And this needs a none background. And she has one more thing that she says, but it's only the physical kind. Oh, okay. So now she's going to translate, she's going to go to the mental pain of the flashback.
Yep.
See, it's nice when the transitions make sense. And but here, they don't make sense, and it's okay because we can make good new dialogue. What is this word balloon saying here? Jarly, I can't move, I can't feel my legs. That, I think that's the he got stomped in his head and he can't feel his
Oh
legs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Paralyzed.
All right.
Paralysis.
All right. And we know Jarly is one of those guys because they said that before, right?
Yep.
Okay. Because yeah, if we can put these word balloons in, then by process of elimination, what's left is, wait, what's this? Did you kill her? Did you kill her, Jarly? Huh? Who? What was that, Jarly? Did you dust her yet? Don't say anything, man. Don't say anything. I don't know if Jarly is those guys. Look at this. There's a lot of Jarly. I can't see Jarly. Are you killing her? What was that, Jarly? I think she crippled me, man. You got to get her. I learned how. Oh, look, this says 17. I put a page number in there.
Whoa.
Is that
So 17.
And then this is
17.
8. Yeah, 17
Yeah,
is blue.
that's
17 is
yeah.
blue. And look, I color coded it.
Whoa.
But I didn't do that before. Or did I? Is there a box yet? No, it's not. So I think I finally figured out. Look, this stuff is from much later. This one more second. So what is that? One more second? Does that belong anywhere? And what is this? Oh, one more second. That's the gun guy. That's the gun guy trying to get a beat on her. See that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that makes sense. Folks, you are seeing in real time the light bulb go off. He's trying to line up a shot. 1 more milliseconds, more like it. Shit. Oh, cripes, that prick almost got a beat on me. And then lucky that bootleg ammo don't fly too straight. Well, in close quarters, it's going to. What the hell? Yeah, that fits perfectly. So we can talk about changing it, but at least we know that's what was supposed to go there. And I guess I'll do this before we do the final, dialogue. Is try to place everything first. That makes sense, right? I just want my 50 creds. So here, I think, is the first time we're referring to the amounts of the radioactive currency. And so how much is a cred? How much is in there as far as actual P's, right? So she was going to win 50 radioactive P's because we got to figure out, like, what are the value of these things? What is 1 P? Do we call them creds? Because now's our chance to not. I mean, did we already go to print with the word creds? Because we could call it something else.
I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been. Here, let me just check the teaser here real quick, because it would have been when she goes to Whoppy for her winnings.
Okay, we crossed out this IE. We crossed out this IA, so I can get rid of this, I guess. And we are left with an E that we didn't use. And That's why I thought this word balloon coming from the side was Trophy Girl saying E, but it was not. It was one more second. All right, so this one is accounted for. Let's go to the next one. Pain across my back. Charlie, I can't feel my legs. But it's so I don't think this is Charlie. I think she put, yeah, so this is number. Oh, the black, there's no number for the black. Shoot. So this is going to be page 17, the blue. 18 is the red. And then the black must be this page that we're on. So that'll be page 16, right? 12, so we did 13, 14, 15. Did we do all that already? This is page 12. This is page 13. This is page 14. And then, no. Oh, yeah, this is page 15. And it's almost like I'm missing some stuff here. What's all this? No, I get that fucking kid. Fucking Liddy? Get that fucking Liddy? What is that?
Lady?
I don't know. Please drive. Please drive. I gotta open these up to see what they say. McFurger. Boy, there's a lot of like babble here. I'm look at this. I'm opening up these little boxes to see what they say. Please drive. Taxi. Oh, this is much later. 19. Okay. And this is, oh wow, it's gonna get so much easier, Kurt. We have everything numbered and color coded. Mercifully. But we're stuck here. See, I'm not that much of a dunce. But we're missing stuff here. It seems like something's missing. So this is all old stuff. 8. Here we go. 12. No. Yeah, this is only up to 12. This is old stuff. This is old stuff. All right. Here we go. Here we go. This is some clues. 13. Charlie, I can't feel my legs. Pain across my back. 2A, 2B. This was all worked out. I don't know when. But I have 16 labeled. 13, there's a ha. Here's some hand-drawn one. It's a new day. I could fend for myself. That's 17. Wow. Are you there, Jarl? Don't leave me like this. There's 2 hiding under the couch. Oh, wow. These are all missing on the file. Are they? No, they're here. Right? 2 hide. Yeah, okay. All right, so here, there's 2 hiding under the... Hey, there's 2 hiding under the couch. My baby sister is hiding under the couch. Turbo has a sister. Had. But what is Turbo saying on this page? So this is all black. That means this is all color coded. I put her there. I told her don't come out no matter what happens. Yes, okay. Getting somewhere, but they killed her. This is Chaka. He just shoots under the freaking couch. She's a what do they call, a fish in a barrel of a sitting duck. Sure enough, almost missed one. The RM killed everybody. I guess that goes here. Did you get her? Did you kill her, Charlie? Huh, where does that go? It looks like it's too big for here. There's too many black ones here for one page. So let's bring in the next page. Got to bring in the next page. Hi, Gewalt. All right. I'll drag this over here. New page. Is it working? Can we please have a new page? Something's not working. So I saw a movie last night before last. It wasn't in the book, the post-apocalyptic book, The World Gone Wild, but it was a total Mad Max clone ripoff imitation, very low budget. Maybe I'll talk about it next time because I want to get a poster card for it handy.
Yeah, definitely do that. And it wasn't in the book.
I'm sure it's in the book.
It's gotta be in the book. I mean,
I just haven't come across it. Yeah. But I mean, it was so low budget. Oh my god. But you know what? It was great. It was like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was like fantastic movie. It was really low budget, and the acting was like so cheesy. But one thing they had that was great was that they had a super squadron of females with like bows and arrows, and they were wearing like shoulder pads, and so it was just like the Road Warrior, like in a lot of ways. Um, but also not. All right, I'm missing. Oh, I see. Wait, Charlie, I can't move. I can't feel my legs. Who's saying that? What's this word balloon right here, up where the parents are killed? All right, let's see what this says. The other twacker got me square with the taser lash. That's 1B. Then we go 2A, 2B. Pain across my back, 2A. It's only the physical kind, 2B. But there's a word balloon there. I think she crippled me, man. You got to get her for me. That's after. She uses the knife on the guy's back. So all this Jarly shit is later. Jarly is the following page. There's two. Hey, two. There's one under the couch. My baby sister. I put her there, but they killed her. Sure enough, almost missed one. The RM killed everyone. The world. Oh, here. The world I had known was dead. Where does that go? But I didn't want her to die. I wanted to live. Exposed neck. All right. So here's exposed neck because she's going to stab him in the neck. I thought it was the back. So I had to become like them. I had to kill to live. And those are these little boxes here. But where does this all fit? Hey, too, there's one under the couch. But they killed her. All right, so this goes here. Almost missed one. Heh. And then he said, sure enough, heh, almost missed one. But there's two word balloons there. And oh wow, was I sophisticated enough to put words here in this little white gap? No. Because it looks like we have too many word balloons. The world I had known was dead, but I didn't want to die. I wanted to live, so I had to become like them. So yeah, I better get the next page in here because I don't know what I'm talking about. Frickin'. It's not letting me put another page in here. Killing to live. Let's put this here. Put this here. Put this here. All right, moving pages around. So this is going to be 13, 14, and then 15. So this is a weird page because this is all like leftover stuff. I don't know where it goes. It looks like later stuff that I might have just tacked on to a whole different area. So I want to put this at the end of the document. Clearly, we don't need it now. And then this will move over. And there's something being said when Turbo's getting hit in her back. So the guy should be saying something like gotcha or there. But I don't see anything for that in my notes. Hold still 1 more second. We didn't have to fight in the first place. All right, you cruddy tweak bassets is stacked. Got that lucky, right? I can't let I can't let the goon escape. Hold fire, hold fire. Oh, that's before. I can't let the goon escape. Who's that got this shit? All right, well, I think we might have to wing it for what this guy's gonna say here. When he's slashing Turbo in the back. I had my back there for too long. There's somebody else saying something here on the right. And then she goes pain across my back, and then they're saying something else. And I don't have anything. So we're gonna have to do some writing here. And then I have an empty balloon right here where the parents are killed. And I don't know. Hey, there's 2 under the couch. My baby sister. What is she? Oh, maybe they're saying this all the way up here. Hey, 2. Oh, his name is number 2. There's 1 under the couch. My baby sister. And then we turn to that. Maybe this all happens up here. Is there any clues in my earliest rough notes? I don't think there's any. Maybe there's some dialogue in my earliest rough note. Remember this? Let's see. These pages are all turned yellow. And they didn't want this house, or else they would have moved us all before shooting us. They were staying with us because I don't even know how many cousins I had, but as many as I had, I lost. Interesting. These are very rough notes. Just looking for something that correlates. There's no page numbers. This is earlier on. Just want to show what I'm doing here. Look, this is like super early.
Wow. That's
I
like
know.
my first layouts. That's like first thoughts.
I know. And nice heist, guys, but I ain't been paid yet. No, I changed a lot of this stuff. She was just like confronting him. No, I don't think so. All right, so here's the fighting. We're right around here. No deals. And then, this is the girl jumping into the look trophy girl. I had a big shot of her butt. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Of her butt jumping into the water pipe. Shasta, that crazy dyke's got balls. Looks like she's about to get it. I'm getting the hell away from here. We took all that dialogue out. And then here she gets hit. And look, she gets lashed. She goes red zoning. Pain. and the guy's about to hit her with the final blow. This is dramatic. And then, is this in order? Then she just wallops him. A full page splat. And then, you fucking stupid bastard. What happened to that chickie segue? Oh, God. I'm just guessing. And then, random notes. This is earlier on. Talking about they didn't want this. Oh, here. My baby sister. So this is when they're just cleaning everybody up. And it says my baby sister. There's a blank page here. This is unrelated. And what's all this? Oh, God. Look at this stuff I just found. Zine pages. Original zine pages. The hell is all this? This is like Lost on the Highway. Put that somewhere else. There's some Turbo logos. They don't belong here necessarily. And then it just ends. It just trails off. Oh, God. All right. So there's not too much usefulness. Oh, here we go. I think I redid. All right. Yes, yes. Taser-fied lash. These guys don't have so much ammo. Hold still, Charlie. Oh, Charlie is the guy. Oh, is she hearing the dialogue? Look at this. Charlie is this guy on the ground. One more second. Kicks his gun. The girl goes into here. She stomps his lights out. You ain't taking my damn credits. We don't. Oh, look, this is helpful. We don't have to fight. I just want my credits. All right, you little shit tweak. She kicks his gun. Now here. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this.
Is that it?
Yes, page 15.
Oh, nice.
I can't. Two. I can't move. I can't feel my legs. I had my back to. So that's her. She's saying that. Oh, wait, what's going on? Things are happening. This isn't good. I better hit save.
Yes.
No, seriously, if the power cord gets disconnected from this thing, it just it goes off and everything is lost. Yeah. And I bought a replacement battery for it, but it doesn't do crap. I mean, it lasted for like a month. Why is this thing moving around so much? Oh, I know, because this is active right now. Oh my God. All right, so hit the jackpot here as far as clues. Turbo's getting slashed in her back. 2, I can't move. I can't feel my legs. That's her. Had my back turned for too long. So let's get to there. Two, I can't feel my legs. Where is that? Here. What? But it says Charlie. I can't move. I can't feel my legs. Why is that?
Yeah, it's not her. It's definitely.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could make all this clearer, but we got to first, position it so we know what the hell we're talking about. So bring to front. Okay. So that's a word balloon. So he's 2, or maybe I confused Charlie with 2. I can't move. I can't move. This other had to choose pain across my back, but it's only physically. Did you get her? Did you kill her? All right. So they're. Oh, I get it. So that's all the way up here. Did you get her? Did you kill her? Oh, thank God I found this. But it's only the physical kind. Then, hey, two, there's a little one hiding under the couch. Yeah, so that goes up here. My younger sister. I wrote my baby sister. All right. So that's in the right place. And we'll get rid of these frames. We're getting in. We're getting somewhere. And then we go down here. So this is what it looks like. Oh, I'm not on camera. Okay. Here's what it looks like on the rough pages. So this is her being slashed. These are my notes that just rescued my bacon. Had my back lent for too long here. This is Turbo in pain. Did you kill her? Did you kill it? But it's only the physical kind. These are the parents. Hey, two, there's a little one hiding under the couch, my little sister. I put her under there. I told her don't come out no matter what happens. And then, sure enough, almost missed one, but they killed her. Okay, so this goes down. This. Oh, let me get this on screen better. All right, so this is back to the action. This is here. And this goes down here, but they killed her. And he says here, sure enough, I almost missed one. This goes up here. And then up here, it says cha-chow. We changed it from cha-chow to cha-ka. They killed everyone. And then exposed neck. I knew the world. Oh, okay, so this goes here. I knew the world I had known was about to, whatever it says, bring to front. Hit save. Okay. The world I had known was dead, but I didn't want to die. And then here it says exposed neck. Up top. Oh, I think I moved it. Exposed neck. So this doesn't match the notes. The arm killed everybody. Fits better here. Exposed neck fits better up here. No, I wanted to live so I had to become a. I don't have exposed neck anywhere. I don't have a thing for exposed neck anywhere. So we might have to add a box. And now it makes sense. I wanted to live, so I had to become like them. Then I gotta bring this to. Oh, let me send this to the back instead of bringing a million things to the front. Let me just put the art in the back. How about that? Okay. And none background. I wanted to live, so I had to become like them. Oh boy. Good thing we went back to the old notes, man. All right. And I had be even better than them. I had to kill to live. I think we took out be even better than them. I don't think a little kid is going to be better than them, but she could at least do something. I had to kill to live. And these, some of these word balloons have run around on them, which is a pain in the ass. Okay. Item run around. Okay. And what is he saying? Look, he's saying something, but I don't see any words here. And on the notes, he's not saying anything. Huh. Maybe he'll be saying something like, you should have seen that little squirrel squirming around, something like that. But
squirmy squirrel.
She's just about to stab him. Yeah, there's nothing in the text. There's nothing on the sheet. I don't know what happened to this right here. This got like really mangled at some point over the years.
Termites.
Water damage. All right, so this is bonus. We could lay this in ourselves, whatever this says. There's just no notes here. The world is only ended. Exposed neck had to become like them. Or maybe there's something on the next page. She crippled me, man. You got to get her for me. Are you seeing her, man? Oh, you know what's weird? I think we come back at. Oh no, that's after the knife. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna assume this is bonus, and we can put whatever we want in there. And then we also have to add exposed neck. So I could put this into a white background box right now with a border around it right now. A solid border around it. And I could even add rounded corners. Let's give it a border of 2. Look at that. Exposed neck. Real small. And we need text inset to be less. How about 2 instead of 4? There, now it all fits. Exposed neck. This doesn't have to be a big one. And we'll just make it the minimum. I like those rounded corners. And exactly where we place it is going to be up to you. Well, yeah, because you're going to draw it. Let me get rid of the text inset completely. Okay. So we can make this even smaller. Okay. All right, so we'll have to fit all these in. I can't believe we don't have any dialogue for this. There's like a double word balloon of the guy who just killed the girl, the baby sister, and so he'll be doing some gloating or whatever. Or now we're going to the next page and let's lay in the art and see what we got. Shallst we? Oh, why did that go in the wrong place? This goes here. I put this in here instead of here. Bring it up. Yeah. All right. And now we'll flip it to over here. And let's go get the next page, which is going to be Turbo, page 16. No, that's action. Is it 15? We got that one already. Wait, so we go back? I don't get it. Are we out of order? How come Turbo's fighting here? We don't see what happens after the girl, after young Turbo stabs the guy in the neck. We don't see what happens next.
Nope. Or does that? I think that happens later in flashback. Is there one more flashback?
Let's see. I have the master file here.
Yeah, I'm going to mine.
possibly got out of order.
'Cause she,
All right.
the last pages are going to be of her. Yeah, I don't go that far.
So this is her stomping the lights. Then we go to page 15. So it's page 15 where she gets slashed in her back, right? On the top.
Yeah.
All right. So then the flashback ends abruptly. Yes, this is correct.
It'll pick up again in page. Where are the rails? Here's the rails.
The end.
Yeah, because she. Yep. Page 25.
Right. The knife is in the guy's back. When she gets
Yeah,
stabbed.
because she. Yep. Because
Yeah.
the scrappy little turds ice picker, and then that takes her right back.
So then,
man, that's such a great transition, Jake.
yeah.
And the ending is just, god damn.
And I'm wondering if the whole Jarly dialogue, she was hearing the guys that she was fighting in her flashback. I guess not.
That's too deep. I don't see that.
No.
I don't see that.
Okay. So let's just keep going. So now, the page with the Maluch, that's page what? That's page 16? Oh, I can tell you in a second. Okay, that is page 16. You're right. So, let's see. Here with my rough note. And I learned how. She crippled me, man. You got to get it from me. So, where is and I learned how. Oh, right here. Okay, right on top. So this is a little complication. I have these labeled as 17 blue in blue. So I think everything might be one over. But I have it labeled as 16 on my notes here. So that might just be, I just might have been one off. She crippled me, man. You got to get her for me. I think she crippled me. No, there's no I think.
Nope. She crippled him.
She crippled me, man. You got to get her for me. That goes there. Oh, this is like, I have my old notes here, and I'm thanking my old self. This is like butter now. I'm just laying these in. She kids until she's hurt, then quiet and serious. Okay. That's a note. Is that a character note? Show less. Crop. I have all these weird notes. So he goes ack. Oh, okay. That's in the sound effects. Then there's a little quickly, mercilessly. This is going to be quick. Does it say quickly? It says quick. I had it as quickly. What's better? Quickly, mercilessly.
Yeah, I like that.
You like quickly better?
Yep.
Or, yeah?
Yep.
All right. Quickly. And then he's saying, I can't see, man. Are you killing her? Oh, he can't see because his helmet was scrunched up.
Squashed.
Mercilessly. Oh, so I changed it to quick, period. Merciless, period. Instead of quickly, mercilessly, period. They go together. And then efficient is going to be down at the bottom. So now you still want the lees if it's a series?
That's all right.
Quick, efficient, merciless. Yeah, because mercilessly, it's getting long, so we'll just change it.
Yeah.
Change it. All right. So I see why we did that. Quick. If quick, merciless, and then he's saying, "Two, what was that? Hey man, you dust her yet?" Oh, he heard him saying, what was that?" Herc. What was that? Efficient. I didn't hear anything too. You say something? Wait, why is there two of these? Okay. What was that, Charlie? I didn't hear anything, man. You say something, and now she comes back to him, and he's lying there. He can't see, and he's paralyzed. And then that's when she raises up her boot, and everything just goes black. Are you still there too? Man, don't leave me like this. Are you still there, Charlie? Man, don't leave me like this. Okay, and then all black. Whew, now oh God, this goes so easy when you have the rough notes. She goes, on my own, what an escape. Indie pendants. This is my freedom at last, no longer slave of any more loser pervs. Why do I have doubles of these? I don't hear anything, John. I'll say something.
That's
Get rid of that. This was in the sound effects. All right, so she's gonna go independence at last. Does this fit? This is my freedom. No longer owned. Assaulted by pit fighters and perverts. And
pit
then
fighters and perverts.
yes, that's my next album.
All right.
That's a weird sound effect. We might get a better thing like that. I understand she's straining to open the thing, but independence at last also sounds a little bit like she's Martin Luther King all of a sudden or something.
I was thinking the same thing.
Um,
then if you say freedom, it's going to be
right. Well, yeah, we'll reword these, but first we got them. And I think I'm missing one here. What does this say? Her inhabitants. Huh? 18. What's this? Merciless. Where did that come from? Oh, I think I had doubles. And this one says 17. And it's wrong. It's 16. Okay. And we have merciless in already, right? Efficient, merciless. Okay, so that's a dupe. Get rid of that. All right. I don't know if this all fits right, but we get the idea. We're going to change those words, those particular words. And now she's going to be emerging from the hole, the manhole. So let's get this in. And it's going to be page 17. Bring it in. Second to last page. Okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Shoot. Okay. I didn't size this page perfectly. I'm trying to maximize the size and balance the size. So when I bring in the scan, I'm making it like 101%. Just Just make it as big as possible. Right, because you're scanning these things exactly at size, but
Yeah, 400 DPI at the end.
at exactly the size. Yes, but you're doing it at exactly the size I gave it to you at, right?
What do you mean?
When you print it out, it's 100%.
You're talking about the text?
The artwork, because it looks like as I'm laying this down.
I'm working on 13 by 19 inches. Your original pencils are 11 by 17.
Right. Well, I'm just making it as big as possible in these Quark documents. This Quark document I have is. Let me see the size. How do I do this?
It's probably 11 by 17.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so only the proportion matters. All right, next page. So we're going to go up here. Right, this doesn't matter that much, but I'm just making it a little bit bigger. So I'm ending up like 101.6% in this Quark file. Yeah, that's kind of close to the edge. Let me just do 101. And okay. Now word balloons. This is going so much quicker than last time. Just wants to be left alone. Oh boy. Suppose I might encounter some undesirables in this area. It seems fairly lawless. So my notes here were for once just to be left alone, and I don't have that. Maybe I think I'm going to type that in here because it seems like it makes more sense here. That's a possible. And if we didn't use it for once to just be left alone, ... We're getting into her thinking a little bit. All right, up here, she'll say, so now she's out of the manhole cover. And what is she going to say? I suppose I might encounter some undesirables in this area. It seems fairly lawless. So this looks like it should be in 2 boxes. I think I have to split that. I have a note here that says, recog, arbitrary comment, no instruction given. Is that a note to self?
Probably.
Okay. And then there's a HH. What is it? HH. Huh. Oh, I think that might be these crusty old men that are seeing her. They're like locals. So he's gonna go HH. Okay, I'm gonna split this word balloon here. So I'm gonna just zoom in so I can see what we're doing better. It seems fairly lawless. You think so? You're gonna run into some undesirables in this area? Are there anything else in any area?
In a post-apocalyptic setting, I love it.
Right. I mean that. So besides that B movie, I saw. I've been watching with my wife. I've been watching 28 Minutes and 28 Days. Have you seen those? They're like zombie apocalypse movies. You saw those?
Nah. No.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit sci-fi because there's like this rage virus and everything, and they're not the worst movies I've ever seen. You know, like the first one is like 2002 or it's 2000, and then the next one comes out like 8 years later, and they had like the Hawkeye, from the Avengers, and they had Idris Elba and everything, and really good action movie. And the it's just basically post-apocalyptic. Everyone's fighting for survival. There's all these infected people out there, and there's a lot of great writing that comes in with the whole human interaction when people are surviving and making choices, of prioritizing their loved ones. And you know um clearly in our world everyone's out for themselves, and there's no good guys anymore. Nobody's helping anybody. And that's the whole thing. Like Turbo is the best that Trophy's gonna encounter. That's going to be the lesson that she learns. And she might be kind of gritty, and she's a pit fighter and everything, but she's going to have to throw in with her will be her her least worst option type thing, right? But watching all these movies, what's the other? Oh yeah, we're also watching this series called the it's from another country. It's set in Argentina. It's called the Eternaut, like the
Oh
eternal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, no. It's actually a television show on where?
it's a six episode Netflix series, and it's in Spanish. But I think
Right.
it's weird because the titles are all in Greek. So
What?
is it possible that it came out in Greece in Span? I don't know. Anyway,
That's one of the. That's one of the best. Like that comic book is crazy. I still kick myself. There's very few collections. I could have got that collection at like that book is very much sought after. I could have got that book for like maybe $75 at one point, and I passed on it. You can't get that collection of comics for I don't know. I haven't even checked lately, but the short story is it's an allegory of was it in Argentina, Pinche, who was basically going through his tyranny, and there was a paper that wanted a sci-fi apocalyptic comic to basically talk about it to the people, what was going. And so the allegory and metaphor and everything is that this alien snow comes down lightly, and so it
right.
starts changing. It's so freaking good. I just watched a short animation from one of the segments that somebody did as a reel last week on YouTube. Man, you said I'm gonna have to look into that, man. I gotta see that. I love that comic book. And like I said, I wish I had not passed on
Oh yeah, we binged
collection.
the first three last night.
What do you guys think?
It's okay. I mean, when I like we had just finished watching 28 months, because we had watched 28 minutes like a couple days ago, and so we watched 28 months, and so that was a big action movie and everything, and post-apocalyptic theme and all that. So then I make a big bowl of popcorn, and I'm like, what are we watching next? I was all psyched up for all these sci-fi post-apocalyptic things, and Lisa says she starts the Eternaut, and then I was like, oh, this is a series. Can we watch a movie? I was all stimulated and I wanted to watch a movie. So she was like, no, well, let's just give this a try. So we sit down and watch it. And, it is more of a series. And there's a lot of character development and
Yeah,
good acting and everything.
it's
Um,
really good.
but it's, yeah, people that are trapped and they're trying to survive. And, it isn't like these young macho heroes. It's like these older guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing I love the most about it is it's another country's version of suburbia, which is really not that different from ours. So the translation is almost seamless. Like the story itself is seamless. So like when I first read it, I borrowed somebody's copy, and then I read it. I was like, oh wow, and everything. And then I gave the book back, And then he was moving, and he was like, "Hey, you want to buy some comics?" And I started buying some of his comics, and that was one of them. But anyway, yeah, oh man, it's also it's very like 70s pulp paperback science fiction with words and pictures. Like it is just that good. If you're into pulp, and especially like late 60s, mid 70s, through the 70s, that genre, you're just you're not losing on that at all.
All right.
And
so
I'm dude.
Well,
Thanks for suggesting this.
yeah, now you got me.
Down.
Yeah, now you got me more into it because I didn't know it was a comic first.
Yeah, and I'm going to look it up. I'm going to try to get on and go to eBay right now just to see.
Are you trying to look up what the comic is worth?
It's a collection by Fantagraphics.
Okay, but it was a international author.
It's a writer, a famous comic writer and illustrator. And the illustrator ended up leaving and going to Europe because the fall of the government and all of the, like Gestapo type maneuvering and Stalin-esque stuff that was going on. He took off. The writer stayed, and him and his entire family were executed. They were, nobody knows. They were picked up by the secret police, and then they disappeared, and I think they're still trying to find what happened. It's terrible.
Right. So I'm having some trouble here with the that maybe you pick that up and we'll do an episode on that.
Well, let me just see here. Oh, come on.
I'm not going to be enslaved again. Fight for my freedom. Hey, get off me, you filthy vagrant. Give me. I have these no instruction given. Arbitrary comment.
It's on Netflix. Wow. When did it come out? Oh wow, you guys are getting. Is there a season 2 coming?
No, I'm not going with you or anyone else. I'm not associated. Screw it, Gopher. She's not the only fish in the sea. She really is. I'm not associating with pit fighters any longer. Thank you. No, thank you. So she's going to say, hey, little honey, want to ride? There you are, little honey, want to ride. Okay. Some of these are duplicates.
Yeah, so there's 2 of the Eternauts hardcover slipcase Fantagraphics 2015 in auction mode. One's going is going to end today at 7:00, and right now it's at $221.50, $15 shipping and handling. There's one that will end 6 days from now, and it's already got 2 bids at $175, $7.33. I mean, I just one of these days I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, but it's like it's the only book, the only comic I've ever passed on that maybe 3 times a year wakes me up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, going, "You fool! You fool!"
Yeah.
But hey, just on time, we're at 11:45.
Yeah.
I would love for you to give us at least 5-10 minutes on your experience with seeing Mr. R. Crumb in at the 92nd Street Y a couple weeks ago. That video I'm going to try to put as a link down in the YouTube description, because I ended up watching it, and man, I really do want to read that book. But please share what your experience was.
Well, we spoke about this last time when I got my autographed copy, and I had the incredible luck of having like a comment. He wrote Jesus fucking Christ in his own hand on my booklet. But yeah, everybody who went got a included copy of the biography. It looks like a great writer. The writer has written on the topic of comics, and so that's
Yeah.
why Crumb picked him because he said, he
No,
was
it's vice versa. It's he had to go to where Robert Crumb was living and where he lives in France and convince him.
right. But Crumb said that there's a lot of people that have been approaching him about biographies and everything, and he picked what's his name, Nagel, Nadel or Nagel?
Nader. I think.
Yeah, I think his
Let me
name's
let me
Nagel.
get it. Let me get his name right because he deserves a lot of
Well,
credit.
here I'll just get my book.
Dan. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Uh, it's Dan Nadel.
Nadal. Okay.
Yeah. So, folks, run out and go get this book. It's it's really juicy. I just started reading it. I can't wait to sit down and get some time to read it some more. Um, so yeah, he was Crumb was kind of charming and forthcoming and self-deprecating as he always is. He's older physically. I think he's 81 now. So like they when he first came out, somebody was like walking him out, and
Yeah.
like just kind of like holding him on the arm. But when he walked out, he was all by himself. So I don't know if that was like a nervous thing or they were just
I think it's
leading
a
him.
light. I think it's just because you're coming out from behind a dark curtain area,
Yeah,
and
maybe.
then it's just all you can't see any. They can't see the audience because all the lights are shining on them. That's what I figured. But
Yeah, well, the
either
first
way,
thing they got out of the way was about the charges of sexism and like inappropriate treatment of women in his comics and because there is that and he explains his side of the story and he doesn't he says sometimes I cringe when I see what I've done, but I'm not going to you know apologize. I mean, the thing is, like, he got out of the way pretty quick. We were young punks and we were trying to get attention and do the most outrageous things that we could. Maybe he kind of like went for the safety in numbers there because he was with his contemporaries. You had Gilbert Shelton and S. Clay Wilson and Spain Rodriguez and then even some female cartoonists. But there was falling outs. I think was it Trina Robbins? I don't know. There was some underground cartoonists that really divided. And over the years, there's been a lot of you know kind of like Me Too style essays on why people should not celebrate Crumb, and it was wrong at any time period, and all that stuff is valid. It's just you know the, there's there's something incredible in his art that is honest. It is brutal. It is him just revealing the raw nerves of himself and of society, and sometimes it's a reflection of society. Sometimes it's a reflection of his inner ego and his id, and he puts it all on the page. And I think if you look at the totality of it, you see a very, very tortured guy, and his background really explains a lot. If you start reading the background, like, I'm only in the first part of the first chapter, and his background is like extraordinarily difficult. But then he had this family, and so it was him and Charles and Maxon, and there was a sister.
two,
I forget her name. But they
two,
were
two sisters. There was an older one and a younger one.
right. Well,
I
only
think she was
one.
in the middle.
Right. Well, only one of them was in the little cartooning club, but all of them were making comics. And
Yeah.
when they were little kids, that's all they had. That's the only activity that there was. They lived in Ames, Iowa for a while, and sound like there was very, very little to do. So Charles was the ringleader and the publisher, and he would insist that they had enough material every month to put out these cartoon, zines or whatever. And and he did his share, and then he was leaning on Robert, to get his pages done. And it says the other kids kind of like fell by the wayside. After a while they didn't stick with it, but Robert did, and Charles did. And honestly, I'm not that far along in the book, but a crazy family story. The grandparents crazy, the parents crazy. The dad was military, and dad had seen horrors and had participated in horrors, during the war. And the uncles were like totally racist, like white guys out of PA, and Robert was exposed to that, and here he is, like, this incredible racism where they're like breaking the windows of black people to try to get them to move out of the neighborhood, and Robert is supposed to, like, you know appreciate and love these guys as his uncles, so there was all this, like, all this conflict, burning up inside of him. And I can't wait to read the rest when he goes to Cleveland and he gets his independence and he gets his job. I mean, we've heard the story in different versions a million times, but this is going to go very in depth, and it's, working with him the whole time to get the story right. So we'll see.
Yeah, the hour spent and is has been recorded, and you can see it on YouTube. And if you're a cartoonist, and you really dig his work, and you also do want some like further depth and understanding, it makes you want to get the book, though. I just have to say that out loud. Like, you're gonna watch that and you're gonna be like, shit, now I gotta get the book and read it. So yeah, it definitely sounds like Dan did him justice, and even Robert said, kept applauding him, at different junctions, saying, yeah, you did a good job. Yeah, you did it. Because that was the stipulation, is that Dan had to tell warts and all. He had to go into who he is as a human being, that he had all these experiences, and then made these crazy comic books that, I mean, if you're really going to look at American comic books, and then the artists that led us to where we are right here now and today, Kirby and Crumb are, in my way of seeing things, are hand in hand. They're just, and then it's Eisner, and then everybody just starts following in, going forward. But yeah, I mean, I think the other part too, you haven't gotten to it yet, is his experimentation with hallucinogenics, specifically LSD. And as he makes jokes of it, he got the real good stuff from this pharmacy that was making it, that was associated with Timothy Leary. So there was so many things, obviously, that happened, that caused then, this critical work to come out. But I had said in the last episode, something to the point of, like, it's really hard nowadays to be honest as an artist. I'm just saying, like, in the broadest way, because of the sheer fact that, anything you want to do is, A, you want to make money at it, and then B, you don't want to get crucified, or canceled, excuse me.
Yeah.
In being honest, and
Well, there, you know,
Because if you're not, you're just repeating what's already been repeated, which has already been repeated, and it's challenging. I find it to be very, very,
well,
very,
it's a
very
double-edged
challenging.
sword. We spoke in the beginning of this episode about NSFW comics. You know, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Oh,
You
good point. Yeah.
you get this built-in audience of people that are just looking for boobies, but on the other hand, you get prevented from, like, getting your comics in a school or getting a big contract or getting a corporate sponsor or whatever. So I think Crumb realizes that you got to take the good with the bad. He's famous and he's on the map because of all that, and the controversy. Today's politics shows better than anything. Like, they don't. Nobody cares. You just want to be on people's minds and on people's mouths. And I think back in the '60s, they were squaring. They were aiming squarely at the government and the culture. They called it counterculture for a reason, right? It was supposed to be
Yeah.
freedom and to unshackle the creativity and the kind of like subversive censorship. So we're not saying anything new, but Crumb is just one of the greatest workhorses in cartooning, along with Kirby, as far as he's prolific. He's explored many things, and he's a great artist, like visually, just putting pen to paper, and it's I mean, that's my main thing. Is like, I just love his hatching style. He's just like, the way he draws, and he has a thing for thick women, not necessarily muscular, but thick boned women. Everybody knows that he's famous for. And it has been kind of like an aesthetic that influenced me. When I'm a little kid, I'm reading these underground cartoons. I did find some Zaps. When I was growing up on a hippie commune, I found some undergrounds under the bed with Playboys that were like, from the adults, that had them lying around. And of course, me and my brother, like, we stole them and we ran outside and we were like looking at them under the porch and everything. So, just part of growing up, the usual story, where comics rot your brain, and I was no different. But I became an artist later, and I discovered my drawing style, especially my hatching style. When you're inking, I took a lot from Crumb, the way he makes lines and the way he builds up tones and areas using these you know techniques. Yeah, it's definitely something that I've studied. So I don't think we all have to like endorse or sign off on every idea that Crumb has put on the page to
I agree.
to appreciate him. And I think for the women that are offended, I think we should say that that's valid. It's more about the reaction than anything else, because no, nobody can really know for sure, whether somebody did something with evil intent, or whether they were just desperate for attention, or they were just trying to sell some books, or they were, trying to make a statement like, men should dominate women. I don't think that was Crumb. I don't think, I think, Crumb was saying, like, it goes back and forth, and there's tons of power struggles, and the gender wars, and they call it sexual politics. It just has gone on and on for ages. So maybe we could leave that there. But
Yeah, no, I think that's a good place where we can call it quits for the day, at least for this part, because we want to talk about some comics that influence. And speaking of, this is a little teaser. Speaking of, I grabbed one of the last episodes we had in talking about fonts was the computer font. There you go, right there. The
for
computer
Deathlock,
font. Yep, for Deathlock.
yeah,
So I
that
bought a Deathlock, and of course I had to throw something else in there. So these are going to be the two comics that I review in the next upcoming Comics that Influence.
cool. I'm going to be revealing to Kurt. I have a drool stack here, I think, and I'm going to be trying to tantalize Kurt and others to see as I open this up. I open up this eBay haul and I try to
All right.
remember what I ordered. I have all these,
Cool.
and this one came in a special thing because it's magazine size, and we're gonna go through all that and more. So, folks,
Cool.
if you've been patiently drawing along with us, that's great. If you've been listening, that's great. You can check out our other two channels. We have the Comics and Influence. We're about to tape now, and we're going to do some incredible flip throughs and stacks. And then we have our Indie Creator Exchange, where we do incredible interviews with other creators like us that are making indie comics and working through all the process and working through all the marketing and all that. So check out our YouTube channel where we have Making Turbo Pit Fighter, Comics and Influence, and Indie Creator Exchange. We'll be right back here next Sunday at around 10 a.m., usually around 5 minutes, 10 minutes after 10. And we will see you guys in the funny papers.
And I will see you next Sunday, Jake.
You too, Kurt. Later.